Carver, and I drive a 2004 Subaru Impreza WRX. I have been a Subaru fan since I was like 12. I remember I was reading into stuff on the internet and stuff like that. I was discovering all these cool websites for Subaru tuning and stuff like that, and I just got really interested in it.
Oh, this car is so much fun. What's up, everybody? Today we're driving a lovely 400 horsepower boosted WRX. Now, I know what you're saying. It's not an STI, but it's got all-wheel drive, a built motor, 400 horsepower, and probably one of my favorite sounding turbos I have ever heard.
Pretty much everything has been done to the car. I mean, I've had it for 4 years now, so I've had plenty of time to go over the car, like coilovers, wheels. I mean, the engine's fully built now. Just a bunch of random exterior stuff. So, I mean, it's been a fun time.
So this car originally started as an 04 WRX, and Carver got this car as his first car. And when I asked him why he didn't go to the STI, which is pretty much everyone's question, is why didn't you buy an STI? Why didn't you buy an STI? Well, you know, when you're 16, STIs weren't very cheap back then. So he got the WRX, and since then he's gone fully built with the bottom end, upgraded the turbo to an FPR Black Series turbo. It's got a great sounding blow-off valve, you know, a nice slip kit, some RPF1 wheels. I mean, he's done some nice work with this car. Now, it's a little low for my liking, you know, but it doesn't destroy too much of the functionality of this car. I mean, sure, it's a little bumpy and it rides a little stiff, which is what you're gonna get with anything that's this low to the ground. So before I drove this car, I was really curious how much that was gonna matter. How much it was gonna take away from this car, having to worry about scraping over every little bump and, you know, trying to get in and out of speed bump. Ugh, I scraped a little bit there.
It's not too hard to daily a slammed car. You get used to it. I've been doing it for quite some time now, and I mean, you just avoid speed bumps and typical areas, you know, construction sites and stuff like that.
Even for the car being low, you know, it still handles nice. You know, I love this Momo steering wheel. It's very comfortable. The stock seats are still comfortable, even against the STIs. I really like the gearing in this car. It feels great. It shifts good. I like the clutch. You know, it comes out real quick. You know, which is always great when you're trying to hit the downshifts. And I mean, it's just, listen. Begs to be driven. It begs. I should stop right there. Ah, speed bump. No truck turnaround. What about a noisy Subaru? We're gonna pull into this lovely church here so I can do a turnaround. I'm sure they won't be too awful happy about it, but we're gonna make some noise for Jesus. You know, this car is really fun to drive. I mean, it's just, even though it's so low, that gets addicting. rolling on to boost. I mean, even though it's a little laggy, it's still so much fun. And I'm really enjoying driving this car. You know, I wasn't a huge WRX fan. You know, I'm more of an Evo guy, even though I hate crank walk on DSMs. However, we will be selling some Air Force Ones for those coming soon. Kidding, kind of. So, you know, the drivability isn't too tarnished. Obviously, you're not going to go mob through some gravel pits in this thing. But for a road like this, on a day like today, it's an absolute blast. This is a very bumpy road. And even then, I mean, there's a few spots that scrape. It's not too terribly bad.
The purpose of the car is to mainly be fun on the back roads, but still look good in like a parking lot or like at a car meet or something.
I know why Carver likes this car. I mean, it's so fun. It's, you know, it's not 1,000 horsepower, ridiculous, you know, gonna put me in a ditch and in my own grave. But man, as I said, on a nice road like today, you know, the steering feel, it's still good. You know, this thing still can hug a corner and come out when it wants to. You know, you just pitch it in and wait for it. It does make you feel good. However, one thing I do wish this car had was better brakes. I want the STI brakes. That is something I would definitely upgrade in this car, just to have that extra stopping power. So how does this really compare to an STI? I mean, it's got 400 horsepower and all-wheel drive, EJ25. I mean, how much different can you get? You know, stock STIs make like 300 horse, so they're not too bad. But I mean, this car has all the grip in the world. And man, does it sound good. The spool, which, let's see if you guys can hear it. It's, oh, this thing is just, listen to the sound. Oh, I mean, it just really gets you, and it makes you feel happy. Woo! Oh, the blow-off valve. I hope you guys can hear it, because it is lovely. Alright, so we're coming up to a little bit of a straightaway. Third gear, 3,500, I'm at the throttle, 4,000, 45, 5,000. Oh! There she goes. Really wakes up around the 5,100, 5,200 mark. You know, I really wish it had a lot more in it. The turbo feels like it's got another 2,000 RPMs in it, and so does the motor. So exciting to drive, and you know, the boost kicks in, and then you get happy, and then all of a sudden, you know, within less than 2,000 RPMs, you gotta shift. And that's really a big disappointment, because I mean, the engine is pulling so strong to that point. I mean, it's got it in it for sure. I have no doubt in my mind that it does. You know, it's, I want more out of it. Boost! Boost! I mean, hey, this car is phenomenal. And I'm really having a blast driving it. So I'm excited to see, you know, what's the next thing with this car, whether, you know, he puts a bunch more power into it, or, you know, bigger tires, more grip, more power, all that good stuff. Well, whatever he does, but right here, right now, Carver, and hats off to you. You built a great car.
Future plans, I plan on, you know, going wide body eventually. Maybe bags, maybe coilovers, maybe strip out the interior and go full on track with it. Who knows? We'll see.
You know, it's not a bad grocery getter. It's something he can drive. It's something that's reliable. You know, he doesn't have to really worry too much. He's only pushing 400 horsepower on a built motor, which isn't that much. But longevity, you know, he's not really pushing this thing to the last little bit to where you have to worry about problems. You have to worry about, you know, stuff breaking and maintenance, which, let's be honest, nobody really wants to do. No one wants to build a car that they have to fix every week. You know, that gets expensive, that gets old really, really quickly. So 400 horsepower is great for the street. You know, you're not going to be winning any half-mile shootouts, but that's not the point of this car. That's not why he built this car. He built this car to be a fun, everyday, daily driver that he can go out on an afternoon and go drive it and enjoy it. I would raise it up a little bit, but that's just me. But it's not about what I want. It's not about what the internet wants. It's about what Carver wants in his own car. And I think he definitely accomplished that with this car. Make sure you guys like, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave a comment. I want to know what you guys thought of the review and some cars that I could possibly do. What do you want to see? So as you guys see, I'm wearing my RWB NC t-shirt from Misfits Motorsports. Carver is one of the Misfits Motorsports team members. So I really thank them and thank him for letting me drive his car. I've had a blast today. I'm gonna roll and boost one more time.